Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the latest episode of Enter Crypto, where every single day I keep you informed and fully up to date on all things crypto. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then go ahead and like, subscribe, and click on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future updates. Now, today we're going to be talking about Singapore and their recent High Court declaration of crypto. And they are saying that crypto is actually a property. So it's not a commodity, it's not a security, it is a property. Now we'll go into more detail in this article. As always though, guys, we'll just, this is actually from CoinDesk. We'll read through the article quickly and then we'll comment after. So this is from their policy section and it's entitled, Singapore High Court declares crypto as property in case involving Bybit. The ruling held that a crypto asset is a thing in action, enforceable via court orders. Singapore's High Court has recognised crypto as a property capable of being held on trust. In a case involving Seychelles-based exchange Bybit and a contractor, according to a court judgment published on Tuesday, Bybit brought a case against Ho Kai Shin, claiming that in breach of her employment contract, she abused her position to transfer over $4.2 million in Tether. This is a stablecoin issued by Tether, to addresses owned and controlled by her. Ho also transferred a quantity of fiat currency to her own bank account. Like any other thing in action, USD Tether is capable of being held on trust, Judge Philip Jayaretnam, who presided over the case, said. The judge's ruling also referred to a public consultation response published by the Monetary Authority of Singapore on the 3rd of July this year, which reflect the reality that it is possible in practice to identify and segregate digital assets, supporting the view that they can be held on trust. The judge added that the holder of a crypto asset has in principle an incorporeal right of property recognisable by the common law as a thing in action and so enforceable in court. He acknowledged that this conclusion might have an element of circularity about it. It is not strikingly different from how the law approaches other social constructs such as money. It is only because people generally accept the exchange of value of shells or beads or differently printed paper notes that they become currency, J. Ratnam said. While some people are skeptical of the value of crypto assets, it is worth keeping in mind that value is not inherent in an object, he added. The exchange sought a declaration that Ho was holding both the Tether and the fiat currency on trust for Bybit, and Ho blamed her cousin, Jason Teo, for stealing the assets from Bybit without her knowledge, claiming that only he owned and controlled those addresses. So it looks like she's throwing her cousin under the bus here. The judge accepted on a balance of probabilities that Jason does not exist or at any rate did not play the role asserted for him by Ms. Ho, and ordered that Ho transfer assets back to Bybit. Now, this to me, I have a different interpretation of a lot of the articles, and although this article is obviously about a case where she's been a bit naughty and she's stolen some Tether and moved it around, and there's all kinds of looks like wire fraud and things like that that's gone on. There's actually a bigger question at play here, and that is, what is crypto? And as we've covered in this channel before, that a lot of governments are now wrestling with this idea of not just crypto, not just are we going to ban it, are we not going to ban it, this new thing, this novel idea, that really at the heart of it is just software. How do we classify it if we want to regulate it? If a government wants to regulate it and tax it, how do they do that? Because first, obviously, they have to understand it and decide what is it, And in this case, the Singapore High Court have said that it is actually a property, just like a house is property or a car is your property. They've said that this is also comes under the same class of asset, really. And so that it's not a currency, it's not a commodity, it's not a security, it's none of those things. This is according to the Singapore High Court. I personally think that this is not nuanced enough, it's not detailed enough, because actually, to me, you could call Bitcoin a property. You couldn't really go into there are not many things that within the crypto world that you could call a property. And I think that people, because we call them cryptocurrencies, we just assume that they're all currencies, and that's not the case anymore. The technology has developed much further than, say, 10 years ago when everything was a cryptocurrency as such. So you can argue that Bitcoin is a property, but you really couldn't argue the same thing for Ethereum or almost any other crypto, because actually Ethereum is more of a commodity. It's actually used within the ecosystem, very similar to how oil is mined and then used in the real world. We use it up, and so ETH is very similar to that. It's not just a currency. Like, you can call Bitcoin a currency as well. If you didn't agree that it was a property, you might agree that it's a currency, because it's literally just a payment network. And then Bitcoin is two things really. You've got Bitcoin the payment network, and you've got Bitcoin the currency. The actual value, the transfer of value, and then you've got the Bitcoin network that enables that value transfer. In ETH, you've got you've got the ability to create new tokens, so you've got the ability to create new value, in other words, and you pay for all this in ETH, and you also mine it, of course, like you do in Bitcoin, so it gets very complicated. And then you've got things like Polkadot, ADA, other cryptos that go into far more complex when we start talking about creating now a digital identity that's decentralized. Decentralized exchanges that live on the blockchain, that are not just, it really can go quite crazy. So you wouldn't be able to just say that crypto is a property like they have here is too, it's just not detailed enough. But they may just be saying that for to make it easy to understand, because this is obviously the normal media. CoinDesk is very popular for people of all types of understanding of crypto, from novices to experts. So I chose this article because it's really interesting too. I love watching the governments and the courts of different countries try to wrestle with the idea of crypto and try to pin it down and class it as something. Usually try to apply current laws or current regulations to crypto, which it never works. They're too different, and it's really, really fun to watch this all play out. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe as well if you're interested in getting any future updates, especially if you found some value from this video. And I shall see you all tomorrow.